What the hell was that? LF. Find him on YouTube. Fantastic video there. That was the Bongo Cat version of Darude Sandstorm. That was special. Google Translate Sings. Also, you can find her on YouTube. Look for translation fails. She does stuff like that all the time. Fantastic stuff. Let's see, what else did we have in there? ProZD, his take on the Tumblr thing. Again, look for him on YouTube. Good dude. Was Not Was, Spy in the House of Love by the request, and Lone Justice Shelter started us off. That song is just that. I don't know why that song persists or was so good. It shouldn't be, and yet it is somehow. Monday, Radio Dead Air, KRDA. Taking your requests. If you want to hear something, send it to requests@radiodeadair.com. Got a lot of stuff coming up this week. We have live What the Fuck is Wrong with You in about an hour. But we also have the game stream on Wednesday. We begin Mass Effect 3. Ooh. The big one. Not the best one, but the big one. That will be Wednesday night around 9 p.m. Eastern. Do tune in for that. Saturday, we have RDA Tech Q&A, and this week we have something really cool. We're going to do our holiday build guide. We're going to look at each of the tiers for your... Grady, can you not scratch while I'm trying to talk? Please, buddy. Thank you. Thank you, Grady. We're going to have our holiday build guide. We're going to go at each of the 3 tiers for PCs. We're going to have our budget, mainstream, and money is no object build levels. And what we'll start with at the budget level, $500 build this week. Mike and I are both going to look and put together what we think would be the best price to performance ideas for you to build and get a new computer. And hopefully that'll help out some of y'all folks. We shall check. Lots more to come. Do stay tuned. Let's see what else has been going on. It's been a day. It's just been all male presenting nipples. All nipples. Nipples. That's just been everything. Twitter, it's hilarious that Twitter is just talking about nothing but Tumblr tonight. It's insane. Probably the most people have talked about Tumblr on Twitter in years, and it's a tremendous cock up. Did want to talk about Doctor Who. I've caught up with the season. We have 1 episode left. That's going to be the finale. And I thought it's a good to look back a little bit at the 13th Doctor's first year. Now, so far, it's been a bit of a rocky road. I'll be perfectly honest with you. There have been some fantastic episodes this season. My 2 standout favorites are Rosa and Demons of the Punjab. Those are both beautiful. Just some of the best stuff I've seen from the show in years. But there's also been a couple episodes that have just been like, there's been a lot of meh. Some that I've been just like, okay, this is fun. Last night's was one of those, this is fun. It Takes You Away was last night's episode. Wasn't so bad. Wasn't the best episode I've ever seen, but it tried some new things and it was kind of neat. And it was interesting to watch. It's especially interesting to watch character development between the companions. That was always good. But then there have been some episodes like Arachnids in the UK, which, while not, I don't think anything of the content was really anything I'd call horrible. It does have some structural flaws. to the point where the script completely falls apart by the end. And then there was Kerblam, which is an episode that the doctor goes to work at Amazon, Kerblam, because she's received a package, and inside the package was a note asking for help. So she thinks someone in the factory needs help. There was a lot, especially in this season, when it's been very forward-thinking, very socially conscious, taking on issues of the day in a way the show hasn't in ages. Kerblam was a big misfire that I felt kind of angry after having watched it. One of the things it presents is that the society built around Kerblam is almost entirely automated, which is a concern a lot of us have for the future in America, where we have stuff like we have the promise of automated cars, automated truck driving. We already have automated checkout counters. How is this going to cost people jobs? And what do we do when automation is cheaper and more efficient than hiring people to work? What really stood out to me was that the show didn't even approach a popular concept that's arisen from the implications of automation, which is universal basic income. The idea is, well, if you've disposed of your workforce, you're making all this money, who's going to buy things anymore if large chunks of the population have no jobs? And universal basic income is an idea that if you're at the top, you're going to pay in taxes so that everyone can at least make sure they have enough money for a place to live and food and utilities, just the bare basics, which is something we're going to have to consider as automation goes on. Now, this was a society presented where automation had blown up, and they actually talked about how people can't get jobs, and that only 10% of the workforce are human because it's been mandated that at least 10% have to be human. But also the jobs they're doing are drudgery, and they're jobs for the sake of jobs that the automated things could be taken care of, but they don't because, and this was the part of the show, and this even ties into the resolution and the bad guy of the episode, is that work is life. And if you don't have a job, life is meaningless. And I'm sure a ton of disabled folks out there not appreciate that message. Or even the concept that we don't have any alternatives to this system. And for a show that is about the future and all potential possible options, it's a speculative fiction show, to just overlook something like that, it's kind of glaring. It was a frustrating episode, and especially at the end where it all wraps up and, oh no, it's all good. We'll keep doing the same thing because there wasn't a problem, even though we pointed out these myriad of problems. It's fine now. It's fine now. It was that was probably the worst episode of this season. Not the worst I've ever seen, but really just tone deaf as fuck. And this is the same season. I can't say enough good about Rosa. That's probably one of my favorite episodes of all time now. So on the whole, there have been like two really big standouts. Two that I thought were like, yeah, it's pretty good. I enjoyed those. I had fun with it. A couple that were meh, but didn't upset me. Two real clunkers. One structurally and one, the story was awful. And now we have one left to go, the finale, which we're not entirely sure what's going to be. I kind of like that. I kind of like that we have backed off the whole arc concept for a season and let that cool down some, and it's worked out fairly well. There are some things that I do think the show needs to back off. For one thing, info dumps. There are episodes where for like the first 50 minutes you're like, what the hell is going on? Even you, the audience watching, you can't put the pieces together yourself until all of a sudden the doctor explains everything using stuff the audience couldn't have possibly known. They do that like 2 or 3 times, and it just, yeah, that kind of it's off-putting overall. But in the end, I'm kind of happy with this season. They've tried a lot of new things. Some of them have worked incredibly well. Some of them, not so much. But I'd rather have a long-running show like Doctor Who try new things and fail at them than keep doing the same old thing and fail at them. Because at least they're attempting to keep this alive and new. And yeah. So we shall see. Any of it. One more this next week. I'm actually looking forward to it. I want to see what they do with the finale and where we go with it. I've heard some rumors. I'm not quite convinced about some of them. We'll see what ends up happening. Anyway, lots more to go. We have an hour from now. We're going to have our live What the Fuck is Wrong with You. Let's see what we're going to do next. Look through requests. Okay, I can do that. Churches by request. That always makes me happy. This is Leave a Trace. Get comfy. We got a while to go. Monday night, Radio Dead Air.